You've seen the headlines. They flicker across your screen with an almost magnetic pull, designed to stop your scroll dead in its tracks. What happened to Danny Koker at 61? One screams in bold, urgent letters. Another, more insidious, whispers, "Try not to cry when you see this." For fans who spent years welcoming the bandana-clad, leather-vested star of counting cars into their homes, these titles are more than just clickbait. They're a punch to the gut. They paint a grim picture, a heartbreaking narrative of a beloved icon in a state of tragic decline. Viral videos, racking up hundreds of thousands of views, suggest a story of devastating health crises, of financial ruin, of a man broken by the very fame that built him. They speak of tears, of heartbreak, of a legacy crumbling into dust. At age 61, these stories allege, Danny the Count Koker is in serious trouble, a shadow of his former self. But is any of it true? In the shadowy world of internet rumors and algorithm-driven drama, where does the fiction end and the fact begin? For every video promising to reveal a devastating new detail, there are thousands of fans left worried and confused. They see the whispers of cancer, the rumors of jail time, the cruel hoaxes about his family, and they fear the worst. Today, we're cutting through that noise. We're not here to speculate. We're here to verify. We're about to expose the truth behind the tears and show you, with facts and evidence, what is really going on with the Count in 2025. We will dismantle these rumors, piece by piece, and reveal the actual, verifiable truth of what Danny Koker's life is like today. So, stick around, because the reality is far more interesting, and far less tragic, than the clickbait wants you to believe. Before we can dissect the rumors swirling around Danny Koker, you have to understand the man they target. Who is Danny Koker? To simply call him a reality TV star is to miss the entire point. He's a self-made man, an embodiment of a uniquely American obsession with horsepower, rock and roll, and reinvention. His story didn't begin when the cameras started rolling. It was forged decades earlier in the garages and on the stages of the American Midwest. Born Daniel Nicholas Koker to his exact birth date is a matter of some debate, with reputable sources pointing to either January 5, 1964, or September 23, 1964. What's certain is that his world was shaped by two powerful and seemingly opposite forces: the industrial roar of Detroit and the soulful harmony of gospel music. The story of his early life, spent between Cleveland and Detroit, is part of his legend. It's often said that his family was deeply embedded in the auto world, with his father and other relatives working for the Ford Motor Company. According to these accounts, the manuals and spare parts his dad brought home weren't just clutter. They were Danny's textbooks. While other kids were reading comic books, he was reportedly learning the language of carburetors and camshafts, becoming almost entirely self-taught by taking things apart just to see if he could put them back together. This mechanical aptitude was paired with an equally potent passion for music, a gift inherited from his father, Danny Koker Sr., a talented vocalist and musician with groups like the Cathedral Quartet. The Koker family was a musical one, performing together in gospel groups. Part of his incredible backstory even includes a claim that this journey took a young Danny all the way to the stage of New York's prestigious Carnegie Hall before he was even a teenager. Whether that's fact or folklore, what's certain is that music was in his blood. This blend of grease and guitars, of raw power and raw performance, created the persona the world would come to know as the Count. His journey eventually led him to Las Vegas, a city that rewards showmanship and hustle. Long before the world knew him from television, Danny was building a reputation in the tight-knit community of car and motorcycle customizers. In the late 1990s, he founded Count's Customs, a shop that was less a business and more a sanctuary for his obsessions. He wasn't chasing fame, he was chasing perfection, building a name for himself, one weld, one paint job, one engine roar at a time. The transition to television was almost accidental. His authentic expertise and larger-than-life personality made him a natural for guest spots on the History Channel's breakout hit, Pawn Stars. Whenever Rick Harrison needed a definitive word on a vintage car, he called the Count. Viewers were captivated. Here was a man who didn't just know about cars, he felt them. Producers saw the star potential. In August of 2012, Counting Cars premiered and was an instant success. The show quickly carved out its own identity. It wasn't just another car show. It was a character study of Danny and his loyal, eccentric crew. For 10 seasons, fans watched them transform forgotten relics into gleaming works of art. The show felt real because, for the most part, it was a window into Danny's world. He wasn't just a host. He was the heart of the operation, his passion evident in every frame. The show made him an international celebrity, but it also came at a cost. In interviews, Danny admitted to the grueling schedule, which would eventually become the fertile ground from which the darkest rumors would grow. It is this legacy of a hard-working, self-made man that makes the subsequent clickbait narratives not just false, but a profound disservice to who he truly is. Of all the insidious narratives latched on to Danny Koker, none is more persistent or more cruel than the rumor of a tragic health crisis. These are the videos with the most emotionally charged titles, the ones beckoning viewers with somber music and black and white photos. They whisper of cancer, of debilitating secret illnesses, and of a man bravely hiding a devastating diagnosis. They point to his visible weight loss over the years as definitive proof, framing a personal change as a symptom of a catastrophe. Let's be direct. There is absolutely no credible, verifiable evidence to support any of these claims. Not a single, reputable news outlet, nor any official statement from Danny or his team, has ever confirmed a current, serious illness. The most persistent rumors from years past, mentioning specific ailments like pneumonia or a heart infection, remain just that, rumors, unconfirmed by any reliable source. The current wave of speculation, particularly in 2024 and 2025, hinges almost entirely on his physical appearance. Yes, over the last several years, fans have noticed that Danny has lost a significant amount of weight. In the world of online gossip, this observation wasn't seen as a potentially positive lifestyle change, but as irrefutable evidence of a secret illness. So, what's the real story? While Danny hasn't given a public lecture on his diet, the most logical explanation points to a conscious and deliberate effort to get healthier. The incredible stress and long hours of filming counting cars, often up to 18 hours a day, took a toll. It's entirely plausible that his weight loss was a direct response to this, a move to reclaim his well-being after stepping away from the relentless demands of a weekly television show. Far from being a sign of tragic decline, it can be viewed as an act of taking control. The motivation behind these rumors is simple. Fear and concern generate clicks by creating a narrative of a beloved figure suffering in silence. These videos prey on the genuine affection fans have for the Count. They create a mystery where there is none, and then offer to solve it, all while providing zero proof. So, when you see a video titled "Try Not to Cry," understand that the only tragedy is the one being fabricated for views. There is no public confirmation of any dire health diagnosis. His continued public activity, which we'll detail in a bit, stands in stark contrast to the picture of a man wasting away in secret. The health tragedy narrative is a powerful and profitable myth, but it's also baseless. While his health has been a primary target, another dark cloud of rumors has persistently followed Danny Koker, the specter of legal trouble. Viral videos and online articles frame his story with dramatic headlines about lawsuits, financial ruin, and even jail time. This narrative, much like the health rumors, mixes a few grains of truth with a mountain of fiction to create a compelling, but ultimately dishonest, story. Let's tackle the most explosive claim head-on, that Danny Koker has been to jail. Let us be unequivocally clear. There are no credible court records, reputable news reports, or official statements to support this assertion. The stories of a supposed 2017 drug case or arrests for financial crimes are fabrications designed to tarnish his reputation, which he has had to debunk himself. So, where does this narrative come from? It stems from the deliberate misrepresentation of legitimate public legal matters that involved his business, counts, customs. The most significant of these was a case from 2016, where the truth is the polar opposite of how clickbait presents. It counts, customs wasn't the perpetrator, it was the victim. Danny's company filed a lawsuit against a former employee, Joseph Frontiera, accusing him of embezzling approximately $75,000 of company funds. The lawsuit alleged the employee used company money for personal expenses, including a down payment on his Range Rover and personal airline tickets. The rumor mongers seized on this, twisting keywords like lawsuit and counts customs to imply Danny himself was in legal trouble, conveniently omitting that he was the one taking action to rectify the wrongdoing. Another legal issue that gets distorted involved a customer dispute from 2014. A couple filed a lawsuit regarding a 1967 Ford Mustang they had commissioned, claiming a dispute over the approximately $50,000 project. Civil disputes, while unfortunate, are not unheard of in the high-stakes world of custom car building. This was a business dispute, not a criminal case, and its outcome was not widely publicized. Yet, in the hands of rumormongers, it became another piece of evidence that Danny's business was constantly running afoul of the law. These legal challenges were real, but their context is crucial. What the clickbait does is strip away that context, presenting these incidents as a pattern of criminal behavior. The truth behind the tears regarding his legal troubles is that any tears should be from frustration, not guilt. The narrative of him being in and out of jail is a malicious distortion of the facts. In the world of online misinformation, some rumors are speculative and others are just plain cruel. Perhaps the most heartless rumor to repeatedly target Danny Koker falls into this latter category, the persistent, baseless, and utterly false claim that his wife, Koker, has tragically passed away. This hoax is a particularly vicious example. of how misinformation can cause real emotional distress. The story typically surfaces every so often, spreading rapidly across social media, often claiming she died in a car accident for maximum shock value. For fans who see Dani and Corey as a true partnership, this news is genuinely devastating. Likely origin of this cruel fiction appears to be a tragic case of mistaken identity. It's believed that years ago, a different woman, who unfortunately shared the same name, was involved in a fatal accident. The digital rumor mill, either through carelessness or malice, seems to have conflated the two identities, and the story that Dani Koker's wife had died was born. Despite being debunked multiple times, the hoax has a zombie-like persistence. The reality couldn't be more different. Corey Koker is alive, well, and remains an integral part of the Koker empire. While Dani is the public face, Corey is a powerhouse behind the scenes. She is a savvy businesswoman in her own right and was instrumental as the co-owner and entertainment director of their rock club, Counts Vamped, for its entire 16-year run. This particular rumor crosses a line from speculation into outright cruelty, targeting not just Dani's professional life but his personal happiness. It manufactures a family tragedy for public consumption, all for clicks and shares. So, let's be perfectly clear. Corey Koker is not the subject of a tragedy. She is a living, successful woman who continues to be a vital partner to Dani in both life and business. The only heartbreak is the one invented by those who profit from spreading lies. So, having stripped away the lies about tragic health, jail time, and family heartbreak, what is the real Dani Koker up to today? Far from being a man in decline, the reality in 2025 is that Dani Koker is as driven and passionate as ever. The end of Counting Cars' regular run on television wasn't an end for him. It was a transition. It allowed him to step away from the grueling production schedule and refocus on his three great loves: cars, music, and business. First and foremost, Counts Customs is not closed. In fact, it continues to thrive as a Las Vegas institution. The shop is still a fully operational, world-renowned customization business. Their social media is active, proving the craftsmanship continues even if the TV cameras aren't always there. For fans, the shop has become a pilgrimage site. Counts Customs offers free tours of the museum, allowing the public to get an up-close look at Dani's personal collection, including many iconic builds from the show. Typically 7 days a week, he is still very much the man in charge, living out the passion that first brought him to prominence. Dani's other great love, music, is also a major focus. He is still the frontman for his hard rock band, Counts 77. The band, which channels the 70s rock that serves as the soundtrack to Dani's life, continues to perform live. Their 2025 schedule has been packed, with gigs at the Midnight on the Oasis Car Show in March and the Napa, Syracuse Nationals in July. They also have dates scheduled for the legendary Full Throttle Saloon during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in August. Music isn't a side hobby for Dani. It's a core part of his identity. However, 2025 did bring a significant change. In May, it was announced that Counts Vamped Rock Bar and Grill, his iconic music venue, would be closing its doors after a remarkable 16-year run. The rumor mill immediately tried to frame this as a financial failure. But the truth, as explained by Dani himself, is far more practical. He spoke of club fatigue, explaining, "Running a rock club, bro, that takes a lot of time and a lot of work, and especially for 16 years. So somebody else really needs to take this over and continue this awesome place." The closure was a strategic business decision. The venue went out with a bang, hosting a series of farewell concerts in June, culminating in a final sold-out performance by Counts 77 on June 28. Importantly, Dani has emphasized that he is not